Y'all, it has only been a few months since the last season of Survivor ended, yet we are already back with a pretty wild premiere. Now, I know I didn't cover last season, season 45, on my channel, which I do kind of regret because that was by far my favorite season of the new era so far. I really think it was the 90-minute episodes in there that did it for me. It just led to better storytelling and better character development in my opinion. The good news is that the extended episodes are here to stay for this season too, so hopefully the show continues down that same trajectory edit-wise. Now, before we dive into this premiere, make sure you hit that subscribe button below if you have not already, just so you can stay tuned with recaps this whole Survivor season. Now, let's get started. So in usual Survivor fashion, we are going to kick off this season with 3 different tribes consisting of 6 players each. Just by looking at their profiles right off the bat, I was really vibing with the Green Siga tribe the most. I really thought that they were going to be the strongest ones out the gate, but of course appearances can be deceiving. It is actually the Yellow tribe who's gonna win that first reward challenge, and from the looks of it, they're gonna be sitting pretty for the rest of this episode. They have all the tools they need, they're getting real cozy. My girl Soda makes the first fire of the season, so shout out to that. Things are looking pretty zen on the Yellow tribe to start. We also have this random ass Andy Griffith alliance. Andy Griffith? Who is that? We also see this random ass Andy Griffith alliance form between Hunter and Tevin. I mean, who would have guessed this would be happening? Tevin was definitely a standout for me in episode 1, and it was more about his general personality than his gameplay. I just loved his monologues and the way he speaks. He just has this way with words that just makes it so perfect for the confessionals. The only real drama in the Yellow tribe so far seems to revolve around Venus and Randen. Venus is a petite girly and she's really pretty, so I guess to some people that means she gives off princess vibes, whatever that means. It was just weird to me because I personally don't know too many sedity, high maintenance type girls that would even apply to a show like Survivor in the first place, but hey, I guess. This is all gonna lead Venus to want to go out idol hunting for herself because duh. The only issue is she's not really being sneaky with it at all, and she gets caught up by Randen. Randen tries to use this against her, but it totally backfires, as it seems like Venus just has better pull with the whole tribe in general than Randen. To me, it seems like they're definitely setting the stage for one of these two to be the first boot from their particular tribe. And if I had to put my money on it, I would bet that it would be Randen's ass who is out first. In his preseason interviews, he admitted that his wife and children, his own freaking family, y'all, they thought that he would be the first boot and they're already prepping for him to be the first person to go home. I'm sorry, man, but if your own family don't have no faith in you, I can't either. I'm sorry. I guess his social game just isn't the best, and that's pretty obvious here in episode 1 with this conversation between him and Soda. There was just like no sense of chemistry at all between those two, so we'll just have to see what happens if the Yellow team ever does lose. Let's now move on to the Green tribe, where we see that Charlie and Ben are doing their best to complete that damn Savvy puzzle. As hard as they try, they just end up completely flopping this thing. I mean, they do an abysmal job at this puzzle, but hey, not too much judgment coming this way, because honestly, y'all, I couldn't even understand what the hell they were supposed to be figuring out. And normally I'm good at puzzles. So the green team is still without supplies for now, but the game still goes on. It's looking like a lot of people are still loving Ben's energy. He has really positive energy, positive vibes, and it looks like that's really helping him gain allies. So even though he totally failed at his part of the challenge, it actually looks like Ben might be in one of the best positions on his team. Meanwhile, there also seems to be this big alliance that's trying to form in this tribe that consists of the 3 ladies in the game plus Charlie. Now, it's hard to tell how completely solid this thing is, but it's enough to leave Tim paranoid, and it's enough to make him want to start to create this guy's alliance for himself. Tim is saying all this stuff about how women always band together to get out the men, which isn't really true. I mean, it's happened a couple of times, but we almost rarely ever see all women together in the finale. It just pretty much never happens. Now, I do get Tim's paranoia a little bit because it does seem like he is starting to be on the outs of this tribe, but I think he's doing himself a huge disservice by wanting to work with the guys instead of the ladies. Like, if he's really paranoid that they're gonna vote out a man, then he should be doing everything in his power to make sure that he's not the man that they choose, kind of like what Charlie's doing. Instead of viewing the ladies as potential enemies and as others, try working with them instead. Maybe try to infiltrate them to take each other out. It's totally possible. I mean, guys break up girls' alliances all the freaking time. Let's now move on to the Purple Tribe, who has Jelinsky and Q doing the sweat challenge in order to win supplies. And just like the team before them, they completely flopped this challenge. I mean, even using the word flop is an understatement. After working for a little bit, Jelinsky just declares the task impossible and decides to quit. And this is not a good look for Jelinsky at all. You can tell that Q just does not respect him as a man, and therefore that relationship is done before it ever even got started. And everybody else on his tribe thinks he's weak and is a quitter, and it's going to be really tough coming back from those allegations. This Jelinsky guy kind of gave me weird vibes from the jump, y'all. I'm not going to lie. I think it's the way he talks about himself in third person for me.
This is where the legends are made. Jelinsky is a legend.
Meanwhile, Jess also seems to have trouble making connections and building a social game with people, which it's really not a good look to be considered an outcast in the tribe from jump. On the opposite end of the spectrum, Kenzie seems to be the hot commodity on this tribe. People are feeling good about her. They want to align with her and work with her. I can really see her being in here for the long game. Definitely until the merge. That's my prediction. This tribe is also in possession of the very first idol of the season, which was a Beware advantage found by Tiffany. Of course, the Beware advantage is something that's been in the game for a few seasons now. Everybody knows about it and everybody knows what a risk it is. But my girl Tiffany is a gambler, y'all, and she's down to play. Now, Tiffany does end up telling a bunch of people about the idol though, which I hate for her. It looked like she only told 2 people, but if 2 people know, let's be honest, everybody knows. To me, just telling 1 person in this game is way too many people, and I'm a pretty private person, so if I did find some sort of idol and advantage out there, I feel like I would have absolutely no problem keeping that to myself. But by far, my favorite part of this episode came during the Mystery Island twist that they've been doing every season now. As we see, Moriah, Tevin, and Jelinsky are all chosen from their tribes to play, and when they get out there, Jelinsky is the one who chooses the deadly skull card, meaning he must lie or lose his vote. Jelinsky tries to fool Moriah, but as we see, he just completely flops at this yet again. All it takes is this little push from Moriah and Jelinsky just folds like a damn lawn chair.
If I find out that you were lying, I will have to go back and tell my tribe.
You know what? I'll be honest, because I'm not deceptive at all. I do have the scorecard.
I absolutely love this move from Moriah though. You can tell she was really channeling that mom energy, like she was trying to figure out which one of her sons was lying to her. Love that for her. So now Jelinsky is already in deep water because he does not have a vote, but things are going to get even worse for him when he has to go back to his team and tell them all about it. Predictably, his team just tears him to shreds because, once again, it appears as though Jelinsky is just quitting and giving up and not even trying to really play the game. Like I said, y'all, he is not beating these allegations. He definitely didn't have to be that honest and tell them all that. But now Jelinsky is without trust and without a vote as they head into the first immunity challenge. This challenge itself is pretty classic. It is a grueling physical challenge, ultimately leading to a challenging puzzle at the end. And as fate would have it, the purple team completely flops, making them the first tribe going into tribal council of the season. damn. Right off the bat, you can tell that Jelinsky and Jess are going to be the two people that are in deep, deep trouble. Jess isn't really playing a good social game, and Jelinsky is just being Jelinsky. During tribal council, this man is just called out left and right for being a quitter and a liar. I mean, this man is lying about using third person.
And Jelinsky has never talked in third person in his life before, but
He's lying about his gameplay so far.
honestly, Jeff, Q and I share the same mentality. We're the type of dudes to not give up on anything, you know?
Wait a second. That's an impossible statement to make given that Q said you just gave up.
It's all a hot mess.
He gave his vote away.
Again, a different version of a story.
He gave it away.
Look, say what you want about Jelinsky, but this man is fantastic casting, okay? Like, where do they find these people? The players all go off to vote, and with a unanimous vote, Jelinsky becomes the first boot of the season. Wow, what a character. I mean, don't get me wrong, it wasn't the most surprising vote out there, but it definitely wasn't a boring one either. If I were on that tribe, I'd probably want Jelinsky out too. I mean, Jess is hella awkward, but she's harmless. If I were in that game, I don't think I would see her as much of a threat, but more of a number to pull on my side. But of course, I want to know, who did you want to see voted off in this episode, and who are some of your favorite players so far? Let me know in the comments below. This cast just seems to be full of confident, loud, and brash personalities, and we really only got a little taste in this first episode so far. Q, Tevin, and Moriah are all my favorite standouts from each tribe so far, but of course it is still very, very early in the game, so anything is possible. Once again, please make sure you hit the subscribe button below just so you can stay tuned as we continue through this hopefully glorious season of Survivor. I am super duper excited for episode 2 to come out, and I'm super excited to see what the hell these people are going to get into next. I will talk to you all later, but until next time, peace.